Forest. The mystery of the woods in the north of Europe, nestled deep within the forests of Germany, lay a small town called Eichenfels. The town was a quiet, peaceful place, lost among dense trees and far removed from the modern world. But this tranquility came to an abrupt end one night. The townspeople began to hear strange noises coming from the depths of the forest. At first, they thought it was the sound of wild animals, but the noises grew more distinct. They were screams that resembled human voices, yet not quite human. The townsfolk found strange tracks on the forest paths, tracks that resembled human feet but with toes that were unusually long and claw-like. Lena, the town's young schoolteacher, went for a walk in the forest one evening and never returned. When people went searching for her, they found her shoes and jacket. But the jacket was torn and there was a strange, sticky, dark substance on it. It wasn't blood, it was something else, thick and viscous. After Lena's disappearance, a wave of fear swept through the town. Entering the forest was forbidden, but this ban only served as an invitation for curious teenagers. A group of young people decided to sneak into the forest at midnight to find Lena's trail. The next morning, only one of them returned, Thomas. He was in a state of madness, repeating the same sentence over and over. "They hear us. They're watching us." Thomas's body was covered in the same sticky substance found on Lena's jacket, but the doctors couldn't figure out what it was. A few days later, Thomas fell into a coma and never woke up. The town's elders began to recall old legends about the forest. Centuries ago, it was said that a group of people had disappeared in these woods and were never found. According to the legend, there was something living deep in the forest, a creature that hunted humans and took them to its own world. But it was just a legend, wasn't it? The town's mayor tried to cover up the incidents. He didn't want tourism revenue to drop. But one night, the windows of the town hall were shattered, and the same sticky substance seeped inside. Security cameras captured what had broken the windows, a creature that resembled a human but had no face, with long arms and claws. The townspeople could no longer bear it. They decided to send an expedition team deep into the forest. The team consisted of 5 people armed with weapons, a hunter, a doctor, a biologist, and 2 police officers. When they entered the forest, everything seemed normal. But when night fell, the strange noises began again. The team discovered a cave deep in the woods. At the entrance of the cave lay Lena's necklace. Inside, they found the walls covered in the same sticky substance. The cave was filled with human bones and torn clothing. But the most terrifying thing was the shadows moving along the walls. The shadows began to approach the team members. Only one person made it back, the biologist, Dr. Schmidt. He arrived in town in a state of delirium, clutching a voice recorder. The recording captured the screams of the team members in strange, human-like voices. Schmidt finally whispered, "They were here before us, and we are their food." The town was eventually abandoned completely. The forest returned to silence. But sometimes, screams are said to echo from the depths of the woods at night. And if you get too close, you might see shadows moving among the trees.